Enjoy yourself." The teasel was hard as wood, besides being absolutely devoid of nutritious juices, which had been withdrawn 6 months previously. Neddy would have nothing to say to the teasel. "You dratted monkey," shouted Quarm, irritated at the daintiness of the ass. "If you won't eat, then go on." He knelt up in his cart and whacked him with a stick in one hand and the reins in the other. "I'll teach you to be choice. I'll make you swaller a holly bush. And if there ain't relish enough in that to suit your palate, I'll buy a job of old Peninsula bayonets and make you munch on them. That'll be chutney, I reckon, to the likes of you." Then, as he threw his lame leg over the side of the cart, he said, "Steady, old man, and hold your breath whilst I'm descending." No sooner was he on his feet, than, swelling his breast and stretching his shoulders, with a hand on each hip, he crowed forth, "There was a frog lived in a well, cock-a-my-daisy, kitty alone. There was a frog lived in a well, and a merry mouse lived in a mill, kitty alone and I." The door opened, and a man stood on the step and waved a salutation to Quarm. This man was powerfully built. He had broad shoulders and a short neck. What little neck he possessed was not made the most of, for he habitually drew his head back and rested his chin behind his stock. This same stock, or muffler, was thick and folded, filling the space left open by the waistcoat, out of which it protruded. It was a blue strewn with white spots, and it gave the appearance as though pearls dropped from the mouth of the wearer and were caught in his muffler before they fell and were lost. The man had thick sandy eyebrows and very pale eyes. His structure was disproportioned. With such a powerful body, stout nether limbs might have been anticipated for its support. His thighs were, indeed, muscular and heavy, but the legs were slim, and the feet and ankles small. He had the habit of standing with his feet together, and thus presented the shape of a boy's kite. "Hello, Pasco, brother-in-law," shouted Quarm, as he threw the harness off the ass. "Look here, and see what I've been a-doin'." He turned the little cart about, and exhibited a plate nailed to the backboard, on which, in gold and red on black, figured, "The Star and Garter Life and Fire Insurance." "What?" exclaimed Pepperrell. "Insured Neddy and the cart, have you? That I call chucking good money away, unless you have reasons for thinking Ned will go off in spontaneous combustion." "Not so, Pasco," laughed Jason. "It is the agency I have got. The Star and Garter knows that I am the sort of man they require, that wanders over the land and has the voice of a nightingale. I shall have a policy taken out for you shortly, Pasco." "Indeed you shall not." "Confiscate the donkey if I don't, but I'll not trouble you on that score now. How is the little toad?" "What, Kate?" "To be sure, Kitty alone." "Come and see. What have you been about this time, Jason?" "Bless you, I have hit on Golconda, Brimps." "Brimps? What do you mean?" "Don't you know Brimps?" "Never heard of it. In India?" "No, at Dartmeet, beyond Ashburton." "And what of Brimps? Found a diamond mine there?" "Not that, but oaks, Pasco, oaks. A forest 200 years old, on Dartmoor. A bit of the primeval forest, 200, I bet you, 500 years old. It's not in the forest, but on one of the ancient tenements, and the tenant has fallen into difficulties with the bank, and the bank is selling him up. Timber, bless you, not a shaky stick among the lot. All heart and hard as iron. A fortune, Pasco, to be picked up at Brimps. See if I don't pocket £1,000. You always see your way to making money, but never get far forward along the road that leads to good fortune." "Because I never have the opportunity of doing more than see my way. I'm crippled in a leg, and though I can see the road before me, I cannot get along it without an ass. I'm crippled in purse, and though I can discern the way to wealth, I can't take it, once more, without an ass. Brother-in-law, be my jack, and help me along." Jason slapped Pasco on the broad shoulder.